Today I will be making my kitchen sink cookies. You'll start by beating your butter in a large mixing bowl. You want to beat it until it's light, fluffy, and gets lighter in color. Scrape down the sides so that you can get everything incorporated easier. Then you want to add your sugar. I use organic cane sugar and brown sugar. I prefer dark brown sugar. It has more molasses. It gives a deeper flavor. For me, it just tastes better. Once you get all your sugar in, you're going to get it mixed up together until it's light and creamy. It will get lighter in color. As you'll see, it starts darker. As you mix, it gets to be a lighter brown. Okay? Once that's fully incorporated, you'll stop and you'll scrape down the sides and your beater again. All right? By doing this, you make sure that you're not missing anything and everything's going to be fully incorporated. Once you get that in, you'll add your vanilla. You can either use vanilla extract or vanilla bean paste and the coconut butter. If you're not using coconut butter, you can replace it with finely shredded coconut. Mix that until everything's completely smooth and then add your lightly beaten eggs. It helps to beat them in advance to just incorporate them a little bit easier. So get it all mixed in, make sure everything's creamy and that there's no little chunks of brown sugar, which can sometimes happen. If that does, you can just press them out with a spoon. Scrape everything down again, and then you'll start adding your dry ingredients. Make sure when you measure your flour that you're not scooping the measuring cup into the flour. You want to spoon it into your measuring cup, then level it with the back of a knife, and then add it to your bowl. So here we're using all-purpose unbleached flour. I prefer unbleached because there's no chemicals involved that way. So you get all your flour in there, and then you're going to add baking soda. It helps with leavening, okay? And then you're going to add sea salt. Now, I prefer sea salt. You can use regular salt. I just prefer to have it without the iodine. Any additives is something that I prefer to leave out. You're going to also add your cinnamon, some rolled oats, and I prefer the old-fashioned, thicker, longer cooking rolled oats. They give you a chewier bite to your cookie, and they'll just make things a little more substantial, if that makes any sense. Okay? And so you can use the quick oats. They just will be thinner and you won't get the same mouthfeel in your cookie. Okay? So you add your rolled oats, and yes, those are cornflakes. Just regular cornflake cereal. Whether generic, doesn't matter. And you want to get that mixed in. And you want to just be beating it until all the dry ingredients are completely mixed in. If you mix it too long, they'll become a little bready because you'll develop the gluten. All right, so you just want to make sure that you get everything fully incorporated. And then once again, you'll be scraping down. Once you do this, you'll be adding semi-sweet chocolate chips, peanut butter chips, butterscotch chips. Now, I like the combination of those. If you want to change the types of chips and change the amounts of them, that's completely up to you. The butterscotch chips and peanut butter chips are sweeter than the semi-sweet chocolate chips, so that's why we use less of each of those. It just balances the flavors a little better. Then, yes, those are thin. I use Lay's potato chips, and you're just dumping them right in. And I used a large measuring cup to measure them, just because then you could see it that way. And then you add your nuts also, if you're using them. And you want to mix this carefully, as you can see, because my double batch, sometimes it'll flip out a little bit, but just enough to mix everything in together. Okay, you'll have little pieces of potato chip in your cookies, and that's what you want. All right, so you get it just mixed in to where everything's incorporated. Then you get an ungreased cookie sheet and put it in 2 tablespoon mounds, and you'll bake at 375 for 9 to 11 minutes. Once they're done, you leave them on your tray for about 2 minutes before they put them on the cooling rack. As you can see, these are crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside, and you can see the different types of chips. You can see potato chips in there. You can see the corn flakes, but you don't taste them individually. They give a really